We'll take you rather to the floor of Parliament, which has been recalled. The House is currently debating the Health Minister's statement on CSM and COVID-19. Currently speaking, Member of Parliament for Lejokuku Krowo and Deputy Health Minister Dr. Bernard Okoboy.
Mr. Speaker, very soon, the beginning of the end of COVID story will start to be told. I thank you very much.
Leadership, Honorable President. After the Speaker, I'll give you the leadership.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have listened to my colleague, the Minister for Health, and we need to. I'm told that my voice is very low and so sonorous that I'm not being heard. And so, with your kind permission, if I may remove the nose mask. Mr. Speaker, I thank the Minister because he's come to the House to update the House on what he earlier submitted to the House in the form of a statement. And I also want to add my voice to the colleagues who have really commended highly the work of the frontline workers. And the frontline workers are not only those in the health sector, but it includes the security personnel, and even some of my colleagues. The minister himself is now a frontline worker. His Excellency the President is a frontline worker. So are many MPs who are also frontline workers. So please, it's important we commend everybody for at least putting their hands to the wheel. Mr. Speaker, but there's one issue I want to clarify. The issue of what is referred to as other CSM or just meningitis. Mr. Speaker, the facts that I have from the technical people on the ground in the Upper West region is that we have both bacterial and viral infection. We have both bacterial and viral infection. But the majority of the cases are bacterial. And they are from the serogroup of X, which really there's no vaccine, no known vaccine in the world. I have tried to get some from outside the country, and I haven't succeeded because I've been told there's no vaccine. So, Mr. Speaker, that is why the increase in the number of deaths in the region. But truly, what we are experiencing now in the Upper West region is not CSM. It's just meningitis simpliciter. And the common one is the Neisseria, which is the one serogroup X, which has no vaccine. And so let's get this right. That is from the technical people from the region. And Mr. Speaker, we have been experiencing the serogroups of A and C. That was common until around 2015 when the Japa district experienced the W. And so with the help of the World Health Organization, government was able to acquire vaccine for that one. But with the recent AIDS, there's truly no vaccine. Mr. Speaker, I was expecting that His Excellency, in one of his speeches, would have assured Ghanaians that the government had put in place efforts to provide a laboratory for each region so that we can expedite the delays in the testing of not only the COVID-19, but also the meningitis samples. Mr. Speaker, I also think that we need to up our advocacy, the awareness creation, the education. When you are a leader, you must know the people well you are leading. In Ghana, my dear Minister for Communication was trying to say that even though we don't see God, we believe that God exists. You cannot see God because God is spirit. It's not the same for these diseases. They are not spirit. But the important thing is that the people we are leading, they want to see. In fact, I want to see on TV some evidence of death admissions. Because when you state that this number of people are there, but they have not seen anything like that. Because I'm giving you a feedback. It's not from me. I'm giving you a feedback. And as leaders and government, what we do here is to give you a feedback. So you don't need to be emotional. You don't need to, like somebody is not believing you and that kind of thing. It's just the feedback I'm giving. Well, we met so many people and they say that, they keep on saying that people are dying, and we have never seen enough of them. I believe that you apply the various strategies and measures according to the situation and the people you are living. I was expecting even a shock therapy. I believe in that in situations of this nature. You need a shock therapy to put the people, to wake them up from slumber and let them know that the COVID-19 is real. People are even claiming, why is it called coronavirus? It's corona because of the shape. The shape is like a crown, thorny crown. And the word corona is Latin. That's why it's called coronavirus. And it's COVID because the D is disease. Coronavirus disease, COVID, started in 2019. So, Mr. Speaker, it is still not down there. People don't understand it. And some think that it's the white man's disease. They said it's only coming from Chile. In fact, I called some people in the Bono region, and that was what they said. That they said there's some disease coming from Europe, and it's going to affect only the big people, and they are not affected. And so we need to up our game in educating our people about COVID-19. Mr. Speaker, another area we haven't added, we only talk about droplets from talking like I'm doing, or coughing or sneezing. But what about kissing? Yes. Kissing also. Minister, you have done what? You have stopped kissing. I'm not too sure about that. The word is not social distancing now. It's physical distancing, not social distancing. In our society, we don't have these social classes. But you've been doing it to your wife. Mr. Speaker, so we need to add such things. It's not just the closeness, it's not just the sneezing, it's not just the coughing, but even kissing transmits the disease. What I'm doing, Mr. Speaker, is to say that we need to invest a lot in public education. There are still a lot of places in the country where they don't believe that there's still COVID-19. I'm definitely against those who come public to say that there's nothing like that. And particularly those who claim to be prophets. You know, it is sad that if you are prophetic, you will be rather prophetizing against something that is real and existing. Mr. Speaker, I want to add a bit to what the minister has been telling us. Even though he's not the minister for finance, it's important for us to get information in the areas that government is investing. It's important because in critical junctures such as this, it depends on how a society or a country positions itself. That will determine on whether you will benefit in future. Because we are now all talking about the new normal. And history has taught us that since the 1346 outbreak of the bubonic plague, coming to the 2019 influenza, is for the countries that focus on the opportunities that end up growing and doing better than those that are 2019. Actually, it was not 1920. It was 1918, 1919. Thank you for the correction. Sorry. Because I've written 2019 here, and that must have influenced my submission. So, Mr. Speaker, it's important for us to be informed as to how government is taking the opportunities along what they are doing to at least overcome the challenges we are facing as a country. So we need to get information on the areas of investment. It's not just the 600 million to try and support the small to medium scale businesses. That definitely is there. But in governance, there are a number of institutions that need to be supported by government now. Particularly the health sector, the utilities. It's not just to let us be subsidized, no, for government to subsidize utilities, but also what is government doing to invest in those utilities so that in future we don't even need to come and say that government will subsidize the consumption of its people because of the current situation where we are not earning any more income. So, Mr. Speaker, please, in your next brief, Honorable Minister, give us an indication of how far we've gone in this area. I want to end by saying this. Mr. Speaker, we are here as colleagues. It's important that in our contribution, we have fellow feeling, and we use language that is not insulting. We should not belittle the intelligence or integrity of each other. That is unparliamentary. We don't teach each other here. We share information, we share perspectives. And so sometimes I'm a bit jittery as to what I hear from colleagues say about each other. Because effort learning is a lifelong thing. We learn every day, and nobody is a repository of knowledge. With this, I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Yes, minority leadership.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me start by thanking the Minister for coming to the House to update the House, and to also take this opportunity to thank all the frontline health workers, all the technical persons that are working in aiding to assist us as a country to overcome this challenge. Mr. Speaker, having said this, let me start by saying that we have asked the minister a number of times to take this opportunity of briefings of the House to tell us about the country's preparedness plan. Because, Mr. Speaker, the challenge we are having is that once Corona has come, almost every government agency is just making one procurement or the other in the name of there's an emergency, so let us, and they are spending sometimes duplicating the effort of some other agencies. It is for that reason that we need to have our preparedness plan, knowing where we are, where we want to be, and in the worst scenario, how is it going to look like, and even with its expenditure, in the best scenario, how is it going to look like, what are we doing in conjunction with other government agencies. So if we don't do that, we'll end up and we'll realize that we have spent far more than we anticipated we were going to spend. Because you have almost all government agencies trying to do one procurement or the other with regards to procurement, coronavirus. Mr. Speaker, let me say, there were media essays about what a number of things the minister said. And once he's here in the House, Mr. Speaker, it is very important that he takes the opportunity to explain to us. Mr. Speaker, I heard this to be very worrying from the minister when he's seen on national television talking about coronavirus have come to stay. We must learn to live with it. Mr. Speaker, when the Minister of Health talks like this, for the ordinary person sitting in his home, he tells you that, oh, corona is over. And that explains the kind of behavior that we see in our markets because of some of these comments. Because when you say corona has come to stay with us, we must learn to live with it, as the Minister for Health, it's very weighty. And, Speaker, and in my view, I don't think this is the time to be making such statements. Because once you continue to make such statements, you discourage the effort by the ordinary citizen to fight this disease. Because, Mr. Speaker, even today, you still have people that don't believe that this disease exists. Mr. Speaker, Joy FM did a documentary, and when they went to the fisher folks, they said that, oh, this is a disease for the rich, and people who fly and go abroad and come. Half of them at this port, at this bay, corona cannot even come here. If you see this kind of mentality and then you make a statement that coronavirus has come to stay, we must learn to live with it. Obviously, you should expect escalation. So, Speaker, secondly, the minister was heard to have said that PPEs complained at the health facilities are being stolen and resold by some health workers. And Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, I find this statement to be very unfortunate. Because the Minister for Health knows that if anybody steals, it doesn't matter whether the person is a doctor or an administrator, we are supposed to get the person arrested and dealt with according to the law. At the time that our health workers are sacrificing their life, when you make a blanket statement, for me, it sounds discouraging to them. And I really wish the minister didn't make that statement. If he genuinely thinks that some people were misapplying the PPEs, he was supposed to deal with it. That's why the Bureau of National
Hold on. Yes, Honorable Minister.
This is the House of Records. And my colleague is alluding that I have said that health workers are stealing PPEs. Mr. Speaker, I did statement here. Where?
What did you say?
I mean, some of these things you still understand. I don't know what I've done to you. These personal attacks on me continue coming from you. Montaka. What is all this?
He doesn't like you.
Mr. Speaker, the minister says he's coming to update us on the last update that he gave. And Mr. Speaker, they give a lot of updates live covered. And Mr. Speaker, and I'm saying that in one of these meetings, these statements were made. by yourself, and it is all over. So that's why I said, is it that they cut it and what do you call it, misrepresented you? Because we were sitting in our homes and we heard this statement from you. Mr. Speaker, and I'm saying that this is from the last update. These are things that were said before.
Yes, please.
Honorable Minister, kindly go. After that, I'll allow you to respond. So, yes, so please.
Mr. Speaker, Parliament, one of the major things that I think that government is doing, that I hope the minister and his team will review the way we've been dealing with this pandemic so far, in my view, is that we are being reactionary. We are not being proactive. Mr. Speaker, why am I saying this? Almost every country that has been able to overcome this disease, they've been proactive. Let me give you a typical example. Parliament was on recess. Parliamentarians will move across the country, and we are convening today. In all those countries that have been very proactive, all of us will have been tested together with the staff before we meet today, so that you will be able to know who is going. You don't wait until, may God forbid, one parliamentarian feel ill, goes to be tested positive, then now you say all of us should be isolated. You don't do that. In almost all the countries that have been able to deal with this, they have been ahead of the disease. They don't chase the disease. They try to be ahead of the disease. So, Mr. Speaker, I will say that the minister and his team should do well to try to begin testing.
Yes, Honorable Deputy Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's quite interesting that our honorable colleague is talking about everything that we need to do to protect ourselves and to make sure that we don't contract this dangerous disease. But Mr. Speaker, our honorable member right from day one told this House, I was here, that he doesn't believe in masks, that we should never wear masks. And indeed, until he just sat down, he wasn't wearing the mask when he was talking. And you are the one coming to teach us the things that we should do to be safe. Physician, heal thyself. Physician, heal thyself. We are telling the whole world that we should.
I was expecting you to point out what he has said, or.
It's part of it. He said that we are not keeping ourselves safe, but he is the one who stood in this House and said that he doesn't believe in masks.
You have pointed to have made.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, let me remind you, the wearing of masks comes with regulations. You need to learn how to use it. Mr. Speaker, you notice when you have it on and you are speaking, you are virtually reproducing the carbon dioxide into your system. That is why you have the difficulties. That is why you have the difficulties. And the use of the mask is to prevent people near you. Look at all my colleagues who were next to me. I told them I'm going to speak, and I'm the type who will remove my mask to speak. So please move away so that I don't spit on you. So, Mr. Speaker, my view is that government is being reactionary. By now, all the major groupings, Parliament, the judiciary, whether Flash House or Jubilee House, all of us together with the staff should have been tested by now. You don't wait, because these are very important institutions. You don't wait for a case to break out there, then you're not going to say you're going to do contact tracing. I can bet you, may God forbid, if it does happen in this house, contact tracing will be extremely difficult because of the nature of MPs and the way they travel across the country.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the honourable member is listening to this house by saying that in other countries, they are ahead of the disease, but we are chasing it. And I want to give him one example that shows that we are ahead. Mr. Speaker, just 2 Sundays ago, that the Prime Minister, Professor Johnson, said that they will go to quarantine anybody who entered London for 14 days. We had started that months ago, and we are actually
actually tracing ahead of the disease. And that is why we are where we are, Mr. Speaker. So it's a misstatement to say that we are waiting. For instance, today, sample was sent from London on Wednesday to Tamak. Report has come, is positive. We have started tracing, and we are going to get everybody in. So it is a misstatement to say others are ahead, we are behind. Indeed, we are ahead, and they are coming from behind. Thank you.
Yes, my colleague was giving a very bad example. UK is a very bad example. If you get to know, Mr. Speaker, they were doing what you were saying. They were doing it already. They decided to relax it, and then they have a relapse, and then they decide to go back. So that's a bad example you are going to give. If you want to give a good example, cite Vietnam, cite some of the Eastern countries, Cambodia, that have done so well, even when some of them have borders with China. Cite those ones, and you see what they were doing. You want to give a good example, find out what New York is doing. New York as a state, they've been locked down, Mr. Speaker, for the past 80 days. How many days did you lock down? When you decided to leave the lockdown, how many were the cases? Today, how many cases do we have? If we listen to each other and pick what you think you can implement, the better for us. If you think you rubbish everything, up for us, our responsibility is to make those points. Mr. Speaker, let me say, recoveries are good, but keep your eye on the spread and testing. Mr. Speaker, everywhere that they've been able to produce their graph, no exception, it is because they give themselves a target that they must test every day. If you say we have a capacity of up to 5,000, that should be your target. So that every single day you try to do that, and then you have the same number. But when you accumulate samples, you keep them 3-4 days, then you test. You will never be able to get the right data. You will need to do it daily to the extent and make sure that your tentacles are properly spread. So as we speak, go to the rural areas. Those of us who are from rural constituencies, find out what is happening there. Some people don't even have decent hospitals. What's happening with the trip compound? Some of the trip compound, they've closed it down. So people who are sick in those communities do not even have a place to go. And you are sitting in Accra saying that, oh, I'm doing well. Please, this is not the time to pat yourself. We are still in the danger zone. Let's not be deceiving ourselves. Mr. Speaker, especially those who have been writing statements for the president, please be careful. Because you embarrass all of us. When the president made a statement that the whole of Africa, we are #1 in testing, only for a news agency to provide data. And the data, Mr. Speaker, point to the fact that Mauritius is doing better than we are doing, Djibouti is doing better than we are doing, and South Africa is doing better than we are doing. So who are those who are writing the script for the president? It is the time to fight the disease. Mr. Speaker, we should even know circumstances of African countries are not the same. For Mr. Speaker, like yourself, we are a member of the Pan-African Party, and we get the opportunity to travel across African countries. Mr. Speaker, in many African countries, access is a major challenge. And we know, right from the Roman Empire, the more efficient your transport system, the faster the spread. And easier you may be able to also do testing. Ghana's infrastructure cannot be compared to many of these African countries. In the bottom line, Mr. Speaker, WHO has cautioned Africa again and again and again that, look, Africa, you are not doing enough testing. So you don't sit in the midst of poor performance to say that, oh, I'm chopping. And I started to what my son was saying. They went to a school program, they were last. I asked, he said, oh yes, we were last, but we were the best losers. How can you be counting yourself among the losers and say that, oh, we are the best losers? WHO is saying that we all are not testing enough. What can you do to up your game? Yes, I must congratulate the team. I must congratulate the team and government, because we started with only 2 testing centers. Today, we are having about 9 and counting. We need to do more of that so that we'll be able to test more. Let's not be deceiving ourselves and be making it look as if everything is rosy.
Hold on, yes, Honorable Minister. Mr. Speaker, I just want to draw the attention of my colleague to the fact that WHO has placed Ghana as the number 6 best performing country in terms of fighting COVID-19.
Yes.
Last week.
Mr. Speaker, I keep reminding my minister that when the whole of Africa is starting not to be doing well, obviously, the WHO will say, oh, you are doing better, please up your game. And that's exactly what I'm also saying. I just finished saying that who says in the world? Who says in the world? Do you really what others are doing? Do you want someone to come and tell you are doing well? What others are doing? If you stop this unnecessarily trying to praise yourself and deal with the challenge, it will be the better for all of us. Mr. Speaker, you say that you are sick in the world. Your people are still dying. And you just simply say, oh, the rate of death are small. Mr. Speaker, and I said it somewhere, and let me take the opportunity to say it again. When Professor Planck died, you said that, oh, that's an individual. But I can bet you, this is a professor that was training many doctors. This is a professor that is helping in the health delivery system of our country so much. Will you just say, oh, it is just one person who died? No! So if you say the rate of death is low, so we should be congratulating ourselves. Every death is death. And you should imagine you dying, may God forbid, what is going to happen to your family? And someone just can say that, oh, is there one person that has died? Let's up our game. Mr. Speaker, let me end by saying, as a country, we can choose to be arguing and not listen to constructive criticism about what is happening. We can choose to be popish and whine and be saying that, oh, we are the best, we are the best. So long as this disease lives with us, so long as the challenge of it continues to confront us, it is only the wrongdoers who will know the right thing and keep quiet, simply because government agencies or government, the team are praising themselves. Mr. Speaker, I believe that, yes, our team is doing well. They must do best, because we are not doing enough. We are not doing enough. Because when this disease, may God forbid, gets out of hand, it is not going to know who is tall, who is short, who is fair, who is dark among us. It is going to affect all of us. And that is why, for those of us who know a little more can be done, we will continue to speak for it to be done so that all of us can remain safe. Mr. Speaker, lastly, what example are we giving to our country? That we are 275, we can come and congregate and think that, oh, by the use of face masks, hand sanitizers, that is enough. There are churches in this country, they do not have members up to 275. You have mosques, they do not have members up to 275. There are people who have weddings with less than 200 people. We, as a country, we must set up a very good example. And the example, even in those countries that this disease has escalated, they will have a chamber and they have only 50 people sitting in the chamber at a time. Look at us. What example are we giving? When you show it on national TV, those in the market will say that, oh, this disease is not true. Because if it were true, they will not be sitting the way they are doing. So I think there's a little more we can do. We must do it so that all of us can stay safe. With this, Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to contribute to this statement.
Honourable Majority.
Speaker, just a few words before the minister wears out. First of all, the Speaker, we know that when it comes to decision taking, our Constitution and indeed our orders provide that we require at least 1/2 of members to be in the chamber to take decisions. I don't know how else. I don't know how else this parliament is going to manage to take decisions. And the very people who are saying that let's not populate the house, They are the very people who will raise issues about decisions that this House takes for lack of COVID. I mean, what do we want? What do we want? Do you want decisions to be taken? I don't know. Let people be bold to tell us that let's bring the number of required to take decisions in this House down. And then perhaps we can determine the appropriate number to populate this House. Lockdowns are made, and people are saying that, well, the hardship is too much. The same people now turn around to say that we didn't lock down enough. What do we want as a nation? What do we want? Mr. Speaker, so and then the deputy minister makes the issue about explaining further where we are, quoting statistics and comparing with the much more advanced countries and economies. And a member gets up to say that why aren't we comparing with Africa? Then he relates to the African situation, and another person gets up to say that you are comparing yourself with dwarfs. What do we want? What do we want? Mr. Speaker, let me also say that I agree that maybe, and indeed and in truth, we should be doing testing for members of parliament and the staff. That certainly should not be the responsibility of the Minister for Health. It should be our own internal arrangement. And indeed, we are working towards that. Mr. Speaker, I do know that you are going to make an announcement that tomorrow at 9 o'clock, members are going to be tested. We felt that we'll be able to do it beginning today. In fact, not only the members of parliament, the staff are also going to be tested. Mr. Speaker, so I don't know whether or not somebody has a hint about it and makes it appear that nothing is being done. This should not be done at the instance of the Minister of Health. We ourselves should do our own arrangement. And as I said, we're going to begin tomorrow. Yes. 9 o'clock at the foyer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the majority leader is misleading this House. What he says that it is not the responsibility of the Health Minister to ensure that this House does that. Because the Minister for Health is in charge of advising the government on health matters. Parliament is part of government. Parliament is part of government. That's why we say there are three arms of government. So if the minister had done that, and for any reason, Mr. Speaker, if the majority leader knew that there was plan to do the testing, why didn't he make it as part of his opening remarks?
Mr. Speaker actually said that in his opening remark, if you were listening. Yes, do that, please.
Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Records, and the Constitution in Article 295 defines what government is. Government means any authority by which the executive authority of Ghana is duly exercised. That is the constitutional definition of government. You may care to read it. Mr. Speaker, so let's inform ourselves before we make any inputs in this House. Mr. Speaker, and I don't like this attitude of people saying that we keep deceiving ourselves. Who is deceiving who? You are entitled to your opinion, but you certainly are not entitled to your own set of facts. The facts speak to themselves. Whereas you may disagree with a comment made by somebody, you are not entitled to your own set of facts. The set of facts as given by the Minister of Health, as given by the Deputy Minister of Health, are assembled by competent officers charged with that responsibility. And nobody can sit in his room or her room and manufacture his own set of facts and come and foist them on this House and talk about miracles happening. Mr. Speaker, we should be serious with ourselves as members of this House. After all, our deliberation should inform the populace. Our deliberation should inform the populace. And we should not script our own facts. And as I said, foist it on this country. When experts are speaking, you have non-experts disputing the facts. Where else does it happen? Where else does this happen? Mr. Speaker, the issue about the containment centers, the positivity rate, and so on, they are facts-based. And my colleague, the Honorable Second Deputy Speaker, was saying that he believes in these matters that we should apply shock therapy. And he said that people should see death and recovery. How can we say this? Mr. Speaker, here we are talking about stigmatization. The one person who contracted the disease and came out triumphantly, who thought that he should be in a position to espouse his own status so as to make people believe in him. As we speak today, people are even afraid to associate with his own kids. That's the other side of stigmatization. So if people get to know that maybe I have lost a family member due to coronavirus, to the extent that perhaps maybe I went to visit the person before he died, he or she died, I may be a suspect, even though I've tested twice and come out by God's grace triumphantly that I'm home. Mr. Speaker, so we need to be careful and we need to be consistent in our thinking that this is where we want to go as a nation. Mr. Speaker, the rest of the issues that have been raised, I believe the Minister for Health has the competence to talk to them, especially when it's been quoted and misquoted. And people talk about miraculous recoveries. Pregnant with sarcasm, a member of this House. If you don't understand the figures, please interrogate it better. But to say that it is miraculous recovery, Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, the sarcasm, the load of sarcasm in it is very offensive. It's very offensive. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Minister, you may.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me thank you yourself and the entire House for contributing to the update or the statement that I made in the House on both meningitis and COVID-19. I would like to thank my colleagues for their contributions and suggestions that have come on board. Those of these suggestions that are justifiably right for me to take, I also do, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, but I want to remind the House that I did not come here to praise myself, neither did I come to praise the government for the efforts and the investments that we are putting in to try to fight the COVID-19 battle. Mr. Speaker, it will be sad and unfortunate for any one of us in this House to say that government is being reactionary or you are not being proactive. Mr. Speaker, we started with a strategy. And even before we got to there, we had started seriously working on tracing people to test them. The New York governor didn't know contact tracing and testing. Days and weeks into the time when this disease got into America and was killing people in New York. Is that a reactionary response? No. But Mr. Speaker, it's unfortunate again for people to stick into the opinions and wouldn't allow another person to come out with scientific facts. And when we say this and update the House about what we are doing, it's translated and interpreted to mean you are praising yourself. So what else again do we do? Mr. Speaker, we tried to bring the index and we mentioned the death rates that we are picking. And nobody is celebrating death, no matter how small it is. When Professor Planju died, and the whole majority chief would be saying that somebody was saying one individual has died. Who said that? Who said that? And why? Professor Planju was an agency head in the sector. He knows. And his death saddened almost everybody to the extent that the president had to go to visit the wife. Listen to what I said in the statement. On the death of indulgence, I will read just one paragraph again. We are working hard to save every life and avoid even a single death. However, disease burdens and fatality rate comparison help us to appreciate the yield from our efforts so as to bring out the best in us and not in a way to portray that fewer deaths aren't a big deal. Are we celebrating the deaths? Mr. Speaker, the way we are drifting towards what we are talking about the disease makes some of us begin to think that we as Ghanaians will be happy to see positives and more deaths instead of recoveries. And I don't think that augurs well for any serious country. Mr. Speaker, I think my Deputy Minister has gone to a very large extent to explain the recovery principle and the number of tests that we are doing. So many things that came up, he has explained them, and I don't need to continue to go forward. Mr. Speaker, it will be only a very non-performing person to be working without doing self-evaluation of where I am, what I've done, and where I want to go. And you can't do only that with trend analysis on your own performance. It behaves that you do comparisons to look at what other people are doing to rank yourself. The whole world is now ranking deaths. And last 2 days, Brazil had recorded the number 4th death ladder in the world. Why would the whole world do that? Comparisons. They are looking at number of tests, they are looking at positivity, and they are ranking, even with percentages and tests like that. So if we are doing this, how wrong are we? How wrong are we?
Is this self-reason?
Mr. Speaker, I think I have said here that Ghana has been blessed, and our president has been blessed, and his government has been blessed. And I said here in this house before that we are not relying on anybody's common sense opinion to do this matter, but we are relying on experts' advice. And that is what we have done so far. That is what we have been doing so far. Mr. Speaker, when I say we have been blessed, we have one big man even amongst the technical people we are working with, who has been the Deputy Director General of the World Health Organization, a Ghanaian, who has come home on retirement, and the President has appointed him as his coordinator, who is helping us do this thing. The man has got massive experience in infectious diseases, a doctor in Ghana, who had been the head of Ghana Health Service before, and is ready to support us. So who else again can we bring here to see what we are seeing? When the world appreciates what we are doing, it's a taboo. We shouldn't talk about this.
We are losers.
So where do we go?
We are losers. How do we call losers?
Mr. Speaker, you can't come and make the picture look very gloom, when indeed that is not the situation. As I sit here, all of us fighting the battle, including even my opposition colleagues, wouldn't rule out the case of an upsurge in our country, because nobody knows what is going to happen tomorrow. And we continue preparing for that.
Where you belong.
When we started, there were several things that we're trying to do. First, let us try and make sure that the disease doesn't come here. We didn't succeed 100%. Our strategy was to try to push it away. But we saw the first cases that came in were coming from travelers. So quickly, we had to close our borders. They are still closed. Ghanaians had to come home. We had to do mandatory quarantine at a huge cost.
Contact tracing.
We started our contact tracing long even before the quarantine started, with the first in this case that we got. And we are testing. Mr. Speaker, I think the last time I came, I mentioned that our capacity for testing is not as huge as anything. For so many years, for so many years. Nana Akufo-Addo has been president for only 3 years. He couldn't, under any circumstance, have put into place infrastructure for testing COVID-19. All along, we never had an emergency plan in this country. Emergency response, we never had. Even after Ebola, nothing pushed us to sit down and do an emergency response plan in the ministry. We were just about developing and completing the strategy when COVID-19 hit us. So we had to put down and start fighting the battle like bushfire had put to a farm. So my colleagues will appreciate what the government has done. Let us put some smiles in the face of Ghanaians and stop talking about miracles and scaring every Ghanaian out of what is not there. Mr. Speaker, like I said earlier on, I didn't come here to praise anybody. But I don't think psychologically it is good for those of us who are seeing some hope ahead of us to come and try to paint a very gloomy picture to Ghanaians. We have a lot of education, but people are not just adhering to the principles and protocols that we have put in place. Mr. Speaker, we're going to come out with a lot more protocols segregated into sectors of the system, said that wherever you are, which are your protocols for you to actually adhere to or obey. And this time round, it may have to be enforceable, said that people will respect these protocols and live by them. I said it last Saturday when we were commissioning, doing the sword cutting to start the construction of the 44-year-old abandoned project at Ovalochi Teaching Hospital. What I said was that this coronavirus disease has come to live with us. Just like diabetes, hypertension, stroke, any other disease, malaria, and whatever thing we live with. All these diseases, we manage them. We take medication, the exercise, we do them. So the reality now with COVID-19 is the fact that we will not allow ourselves to let the virus push us into our rooms and stay there forever. Man must eat, so we should come out. How do we come in the face of the pandemic? So we will have to manage and learn to live with the disease. All countries have started easing gradually. All countries have started easing restrictions gradually, so that people, all of us, can begin to live our normal lives. Whoever dreamt that one day to come, me here, the Minister for Health, Ajumamenu, will be wearing this mask in this chamber to be talking to issues in the chamber. Nobody predicted it. But that is the new life we have to learn to live with. New normal. And we have to manage to protect ourselves from the disease. So social distancing or physical distancing, we have now stopped as our culture, even not greeting ourselves. The second deputy speaker was even talking about kissing. And I said we have stopped because social distancing rules will not even permit you getting closer to kids. Nobody. Even these days, I hear the wives, if you don't give the chop money, when you go to tax, they say social distancing. You know. Mr. Speaker, I would have.
The minister is violently violating the laws of this house. Violently. In this house, no person is allowed to make two statements. No person. The statement that the minister made has been
by your out of order. I permitted him to respond to all the issues raised.
How can you make two statements?
You are violently out of order.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for disallowing my colleague to continue his vituperations. Because when people talk about public education, talk about data, miraculous data, talk about reactionary response, the minister in his final stage shouldn't say nothing. Is that what you want me to do? That is also not the culture of the house. So I will summarize to your distaste. Mr. Speaker, I was talking about how we have to learn to live with COVID-19. We have sent protocols, a lot of guidelines. Those of us hiding in our homes who are so scared even to come out will have to be talked into, trying to get them out to begin to do certain things. We still have some regions that have not seen COVID-19 yet, because of some of the things that we have asked them to do that they are doing a bit well. Groupings wouldn't help us so much, and we continue to look at how best we can bring out more protocols to see how people can come out and work. Mr. Speaker, I wouldn't continue to bore you. Let me thank the House for this space. I thank you very much.
Yeah. Honourable members, that is the end of statement time. I have this announcement to make. COVID-19 testing for honourable MPs. Date, tomorrow, Wednesday, 20th May, 2020. Time, 9 a.m. Venue, the foyer. COVID-19 testing for staff of Parliament. Date, 20th May, 2020. Time, 9 a.m. Venue, Parliament Clinic. Please note the two locations. Staff is going to the clinic, members are at the foyer. Thank you very much. Yes, Honourable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the pro tem leader of the minority made an emphatic statement that in this House, nobody is allowed. Mr. Speaker, I don't know where he got his inspiration from. Certainly, what he said does not exist anywhere in our list. It doesn't exist anywhere in our list. And Speaker, just for the records, order 8.
What are you referring to? I didn't hear you.
Mr. Speaker, as I said, the pro tem leader for the minority made a point when the minister was responding to colleagues who had made comments. He said he does not have the right to talk twice on the matter.
Honourable Leader, I ruled him out. So let's move on.
Mr. Speaker, you did. But just for his own elucidation.
When you meet at the window wing, then you get.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. But you should not inflict this on this House any longer. Mr. Speaker, we intended really to continue with the regulatory's bodies bill, the education regulatory bodies bill. I don't know whether today being the first day, and given how far we've traveled today, whether we'll be able to indeed do work on that. The pleasure of the House is what I await. This is the first day, so Mr. Speaker, perhaps given where we are, and it's almost 3 minutes to 2 o'clock. So perhaps we can grant ourselves some relief today and do it tomorrow.
Is that a motion?
Mr. Speaker, I was just trying to gauge the mood of the House.
The mood of the House is that you move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, in that regard, I beg to move that this House stands adjourned until tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the forum to remind ourselves, as we just read, that members of Parliament will have to subject themselves to testing tomorrow. It's in the foyer, 9 o'clock, foyer, and the staff at the clinic of the House. Speaker, so I do so move that we take an adjournment until tomorrow, 10 o'clock, in the forum. And Speaker, this is an adjournment of the sitting. It should not be misconstrued. It's an adjournment of the sitting, not an adjournment of the meeting. I thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion for adjournment. And premise is squarely on your very competent reading of the mood of the House. Mr. Speaker, I just hope that we will tomorrow have an opportunity to look at the education related bill. Because I have just looked at the legislative program for the second meeting of the fourth parliament. It's a tall order. So the earlier we started, the better. With this, Mr. Speaker, I second the motion for adjournment. 10 o'clock, and to entreat members to make ourselves available for the testing tomorrow. Thank you.
Honourable members, the motion for adjournment has been moved and seconded. So any